Hey everyone, we're here with Arena Tournament 65. So we have our special holiday edition. Not sure how many kids we'll get because of the start of the winter break, but hopefully get a good amount of kids playing. So I just jumped into the tournament because we only had two people at the very start, so I wanted to make sure the tournament began, and the tournament doesn't begin unless we have three people. So you had to make sure that I jumped in. So I'm playing a very principled opening here against Josiah. This opening is very popular amongst grandmasters, right? Typically, the common move is knight b3 instead of Josiah's knight f3 there, but both moves have been played quite a bit. I did play Steven in some blitz games last night. He got his first victory against me, which I was really happy about. A little sad. I don't like to lose, but mostly happy about. He's playing really well, Steven. He did a good job of spotting tactics, and yeah, I thought he played a very strong game against me. All right, so typically you try to go h6 and bishop e6, but this bishop c4 move sort of threw me off. So I think I'm gonna go knight here and then put my pawn on b5 and develop my bishop to b7. So we'll see how that plan turns out. I have to be a little bit careful about this b6 square because, like, let's say if eventually a knight gets okay. So I think this is a little passive from Josiah. This position I think is quite good. So I'm threatening to win the pawn on e4. He's playing very strong though, Josiah. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, the question is like, how does he defend the pawn exactly? I think when I played b5, I think he's supposed to go bishop d5. I think he has to go bishop d5 now. This is interesting. Queen d3. Queen d3 is a move. So if I go here, take, queen trade. He wins this pawn. I win that pawn. And what if I go b4? b4 is also a move. I think queen c7 is the most logical approach here. Queen c7 because after I go knight c5, take, I want to make sure that my pawn on e5 is defended, and then I can also swing my rook to the d file and put some pressure on the queen here. He's playing, yeah. All the kids in sort of what I would describe as maybe like the advanced level class, they're all playing some extremely impressive chess. Just like I said about Steven yesterday, Steven really posed a lot of problems for me, which is really the sign that you're improving as a chess player when you start creating problems for your opponent. So now my threat is c4 to fork the bishop and the queen. This is already a little bit of a tough threat. I think he has to go bishop d5 here. Yeah, I don't see what else we would even considering. I guess knight d5 we could also consider. So yeah, I guess that move just loses because of c4, and now the bishop is completely trapped. Yeah, that position wasn't as bad as it looked, I don't think, for white. I think if he would have found this bishop d5 or knight to d5 move, Josiah, he had played a very reasonable opening. So you'll notice, right, chess is just a lot about tactics. Here he just missed the one tactic, Josiah, and that's going to cost him a piece. And if I play it at all decently, it should cost him the game, but we'll see. We'll see how I convert my advantage here. He really played the opening quite well, though. So, like, one thing I think the kids, and this is common for a um, lot of different ranges of chess players. But yeah, the opening is like, you have to put some time into mastering the opening, and that's not easy. Um, so I thought the way that Josiah handled this opening was quite good. So now I'm debating. I want to go bishop to b4 and then after g5 take, but that doesn't work. I'm also thinking about bishop to c5. I also think queen to c5 might be the best move. Yeah, queen c5 seems very logical, right? I'm a little worried about rook d7 at the end because then my two bishops are going to get double attack there. But I think queen c5 should be a reasonable move here. Let's go queen c5. Let's offer up the queen trade, and I think that's the easiest way to secure a pretty significant advantage here. So if he goes queen to g5, I have knight takes e4, and I have the discovered attack against the queen. Although that's interesting. Can he go knight takes? Oh no, I get to take with check. I take with check. That's the important part. This move I don't really get. Yeah, I'm just gonna trade the pieces. I guess he wants to go knight to f5, Josiah. But I think that's sort of the word that Daniel Naroditsky's been using lately is a paper tiger. I think that's a little bit of a paper tiger. So he's gonna go knight f5 here. No, he didn't do that. Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I thought, yeah, this move I think is very bad because after I take, I'm hitting the rook and the knight, so both my bishops are getting very active here. I think if he goes knight, okay, so yeah, I think just missed this move, Josiah. And now I'm threatening bishop f2 with a double attack on the bishop and the pawn here. And notice that the rook doesn't have any safe squares to defend the pawn. So I think Josiah will likely resign here. Oh, he moved? What did he play? There. Okay, so we'll just play very simple chess. We'll exchange a pair of rooks. Yeah, notice that I'm not trying to do anything so fancy here. I'm up 2 bishops. All I'm really trying to do is make some even trades. Trading pawns in general is good when you're down material, but like when you're down so much material, this isn't going to matter. Typically, when your side is up material, you don't want to trade the pawns because all the pawns are future queens. But like I said, in this specific position, it's not going to make a huge difference. All right, so let's trade off both the rooks. And then we go rook d8 with the idea that my bishop's defending the rook, and I'm just trading off everything. Okay, so here we're gonna go. We go here. Why not? Infiltrate with the rook looks reasonable. I could even sack the rook. Well, basically, I'd be sacking the bishop for the pawn. I could even do that because again, I'm up so much material. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do exactly that. There's no reason not to simplify the position. And then what I'm trying to think about here is how do I create a passed pawn, which unfortunately is not so easy. So I'm just going to activate my king. So we go check. We're going to put this pawn in the dark square. I have to be careful not to make too many trades because I have the wrong color bishop here, so as I call it. So you guys have to be careful that I don't liquidate too much, but it should be no real technical difficulties as they say. I think this e pawn is the one that will eventually be the pass pawn. He's doing a good job Josiah putting all of his pawns on light squares, though. That's exactly what you want to do. The problem for Josiah is I can just waste moves forever with my bishop, and eventually Josiah is going to run out of moves. Like I can literally just move the bishop whenever I need to, and as you'll see, as you'll see shortly. Well, first of all, I can just take that pawn, but yeah, I mean basically Josiah's just going to run out of moves here very quickly. And then all I have to do is create the passed pawn. So go here. After he attacks my pawn, I bring the bishop back to e1, and then I go g6 and either f5 or h5. Either way is a good way of creating a passed pawn here, and that will decide the chess game. Okay, so we're going to take, and we're going to go. Yeah, like I said, I think this will be the passed pawn that will eventually win the game. So let's go get that passed pawn rolling. Notice that if I didn't have the e pawn, it would be a draw because I have again the wrong color bishop. But this is just an easy win for black here. And notice that my bishop's doing a good job controlling the queening square, which also is nice. So just go. I could also just go king here. That's probably. I mean, either move is fine. We're up 2. How many got? 1, 2. Yeah, today's video is gonna be a little bit short, probably just about 1 hour. I made a great video. Well, great. I mean, in my opinion, it was a very good video about the States Cup match. And apparently, I think my computer ran out of system memory, so the whole video got deleted. Unfortunately, it was basically the States Cup match where we played. The way that it worked is we played all the other states in our division. So it was called a free for all match, and basically there's 4 other teams besides us, and basically our board 1 played the other states, 4 states board 1, board 2 did the same, board 3, board 4. So we had Nathan play board 4 for our team this match, and he did fantastic. He won all 4 games, 4 out of 4, which which I think shouldn't be like taken lightly. I think that's a really great result. I mean, he's basically playing some of the top players from the other states. I think our who are our opponents? It was Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and Hawaii. So they had some very strong players, and Nathan. Um, at least I'll say two of Nathan's four opponents were quite good chess players. Idaho kind of had a weak team, to be honest, and then there was another board four that was pretty low rated that I think Nathan was clearly the better player. But the other two, those first two games were very difficult opponents, I thought, and he really just dominated the games from start to finish. That's pretty cool. We have 11 players here. How did Josiah win already? I just beat him and then he bounced back just like that. He must have got a forfeit win. You got a forfeit win against Matthew. Those forfeit wins are a bit annoying because one, it like helps you get a streak easier. Did somebody challenge me? You are now oh, that's a new feature. All right, let's yeah. I did just play Josiah, so I kind of wanted to look at somebody else's game, but let's give Jonathan's game a look here. So this move knight c3 is perfectly fine, although it's a bit passive. So basically, after this move knight f6, they say that black has equalized. When I've turned engine on Sun, it shows that black's better here, which I don't think that's correct. Yeah, I don't think after d4 that. I think I'm disagreeing with the engineer. As far as I know, that knight c3 is not a move that incurs a disadvantage, but maybe I'm just wrong. Anyway, so yeah, c6. So we have like this Caro-Kann pawn structure from Josiah. E5. I think E5 is the wrong move. So basically, if Jonathan had played the move D4 here, we just transpose back into the Caro-Kann. So basically, the main line in Caro-Kann is E4, C6, D4, D5, and then here White has a lot of choices, but Knight C3 is definitely one of the more reasonable choices for White here. So that's what could have happened if we had D4. I think E5 is not correct because we're just basically moving the pawn, but we aren't really creating any threat for moving the pawn again. So here Josiah played G6. G6 might be an inaccuracy. I think the main plan is maybe we just go bishop f5 and e6, and then even though we don't want to waste the tempo with black with c5, essentially what we're getting is a better version of the French defense. And I know all this is a little bit maybe too advanced for this video, but for some students it might be useful. So bishop g7, and yeah, the problem is we say that this bishop is biting on granite. It's really up against these two pawns. The only thing that black can sort of do is play this move f6, but since white hasn't played knight f3 yet, if black were to play f6, I think f4 might be a very reasonable move for white there. But knight f3, which I was just saying we do want to reserve f4 for white here, but I think knight f3 is also probably fine. The thing though is after f6, we're sort of prompted, I think, to take the pawn in that instance. He's improved so much though, Jonathan. I mean, this is really good stuff here. Okay, c5. I can see that Jonathan's gonna have a tough time with this decision. C5 is a very good move from Josiah because we have to try to break up these center pawns. Yeah, I'm actually really. When I say actually, it sounds like I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I think it's a really good plan. I think the only now that I think about it, though, this d5 pawn's underprotected, right? So can't we? Yeah, can't we just win the pawn on d5? I guess the argument is that I don't think there is an argument. I think we just take on d5. So maybe Josiah's c5 move was actually a little bit too early. But it is such a natural move. But I don't know. Yeah, we need. I don't think we want to prepare with e6 to defend the d5 pawn because then our dark squares get really weak. So I'm just wondering if this is like the wrong square for the bishop. Like I think if we could play e6, put the bishop back on f8 and play c5, that's the way that we should approach this position as black. Bishop b5, that's a good move. Win the pawn. He missed the bishop. That's okay though. I mean, this is basically losing blunders. So when I say it's okay, like, I mean, it's an easy thing to miss. These retreating bishop moves are easy to miss. And the reason why I'm saying it's okay is I feel like up until this point, Jonathan played such a beautiful chess game. I mean, the improvement is really clear. I can see why he wanted to trade the queens, Jonathan, because he's up a pawn. He just missed the bishop. Yeah, I think if he would have played bishop takes instead, or I think you could just like even bishop c4 is probably an idea. Like threatening a mate is always an idea. Yeah, that's disappointing. I think probably like bishop a4 is an idea. Bishop takes knight is definitely an idea. So that's a little bit disappointing. So yeah, here Jonathan should resign. And one thing that this is a good teaching moment. A lot of times our students are playing moves like G3 here. Um, the reason I don't like, and I think Chelsea does this quite a bit. These are actually really bad moves in chess because they just create too many weaknesses on your light squares. So one thing I'm noticing the kids aren't quite learning yet, so like that means I have to teach it, is you just want to play bishop g3 here. Because bishop g3 preserves your bishop without creating any of the weaknesses. Yeah, again, this move g3 just creates too many weaknesses for no reason. And even though black doesn't have a light square bishop, you might think like the light squares shouldn't get that weak. I think these squares are going to get extremely weak here. And again, Josiah is basically attacking them immediately. He's fighting back quite well. F5 attack the pin piece. So here I think we have to capture en passant, but it's not going to matter because we take and then we deflect the knight away from the other knight. So yes, F5 move is a very good move. I hope that Jonathan remembers en passant though. That would be good. Yeah, let's go. We're up to 12 players. We got Vincent in first. I didn't hear. Yeah, so we're just going to take. I think Jonathan wants to go knight F7, but maybe he's missing that this knight can take. He's playing well though, Jonathan. Yeah, he's playing really well. Oh, Leo's got his first win. Chelsea's at 1 out of 3. Yeah, I'm pretty happy of this level of play for Jonathan though. This is. I was saying for a bit, I think Jonathan was our most improved player. He seemed to like kind of cool down with like the amount of practice he was doing, which that always makes a big difference in your improvement level. So I think his improvement has slowed down a bit, but he's definitely improved a ton, Jonathan. Yeah, really happy with the turnout. 12 players on the beginning of the holiday vacation. That shows some really excellent dedication. Yeah, clearly paying off. The quality of the chess games are clearly getting better. Yeah, let's switch to another game. I think we've seen enough of this one. Let's look at Chelsea versus Matthew. Okay, so what's going on here? Yeah, this move c5. We could just take the pawn here. So I'm a little bit disappointed already, to be honest, because we always talk about spotting our opponent's threats, but you have to also be aware of your own threats. The point of knight f3 is to take the pawn. Yeah, we should just grab the pawn here. I don't see why not. So bishop c4, knight c6, and now you can't take the pawn anymore. Castle, okay, d3. So this is logical, right? So Chelsea got her bishop outside the pawn chain, create the pawn chain. That's excellent. Okay, bishop e3. Bishop e3 is probably logical if we go for a c3 d4 push at some point. Knight h6. So yeah, it looks like Matthew's idea is to go knight g4. We probably should stop that with just h3. And then after h3, this knight looks very silly. It's kind of like, what's the point? I think that Matthew might be going for an f5 idea. We can also just play bishop takes knight is also a move that we could consider. Here. Okay, I'm really happy that Chelsea didn't play this move because after pawn takes, your knight and bishop get forced. So here, bishop g4. Now we're in this annoying pin. So we have to play bishop takes knight here. Okay, knight takes e7. No. So there's two attackers, right? And there's two defenders. Our knight's pinned, and we have no move that defends our knight again. That's a big problem for white here. So here we're essentially forced to play this move. Yeah, we have to get rid of one of the attackers and alleviate some pressure. We have to ease our position a bit. So after bishop takes knight, I think that Chelsea's position is fine. But yeah, after h3, it's just a losing position now. Yeah, it's totally lost. We've looked at this many times before, but as I'm learning, right, it takes time. It takes time and effort to. I mean, the effort's there. It just takes more practice to sort of stop making these mistakes. Because yeah, this is something I like to see Chelsea be able to figure out. To be honest, take now she's opening up the position, which she shouldn't do because her king's under fire. So no reason to. Yeah, there's no real reason to open up the position though. But yeah, I think queen to g5 and queen g2 is just a mate. And Matthew's supposed to find this. Yeah, this is. These are why we do puzzle battle, like queen g5, queen g2. This is not the most difficult pattern to find, but kids are learning. The improvement's there. It's sometimes it's slow though, right? Sometimes the improvement is slower than you think. After knight g4, I think this game is far from over. Yeah, this was really not the way that you want to conduct the attack here. Wow, is Chelsea going to swindle this game? This is amazing. Yeah, now Chelsea's just much better. Matthew played this quite poorly, to be honest. This was not well played. C3, so now she's going for D4, Chelsea. Um, yeah, notice the knight and bishop do a good job of preventing the king from moving forward, but they're also kind of stuck, these two pieces. So it's like, if white can ever sort of untangle, which I think Chelsea's trying to do at C3 and D4, she's going to get a nice active position here. Take. Tactics, tactics, tactics. D4. I don't like D4 because of E4, and then black gets a pass pawn. Um, at the same time, I'm not sure what I suggest. So if I'm going to say there's a better move, then I probably should have something ready. I was gonna say if I was playing this position, I was thinking about rook e2 and then double up the rooks and just give away a rook for the knight and pawn. But now I'm wondering if that even is possible because of king c7, here king in d6. So how do we proceed here? This isn't so obvious. Yeah, again, these pieces really do a good job of restricting the white king. Like I'm almost thinking we just go rook f1 and give away the exchange here. But I don't know if I like that much because of knight to e3. I guess knight e3, then we have rook f3, so that's probably good enough. But after f4, it should just be game over. Take. I'm not sure if that take was correct. Okay, check. No, I don't like that move. I think why not just check and then take here? Because this bishop is totally trapped. So yeah, we had this nice check and take. d5 doesn't make a lot of sense to me. No, I don't really like the way Chelsea's playing this. So here I would just play rook takes knight. I would really just simplify everything. Rook takes, take, and then rook e1, and there's no way for black to defend the pawn. And now you're just like again. I think what we're struggling with a little bit as chess players is when we get this winning position. One thing that like you'll get better at as we practice more and as we talk about it more is just how do you simplify into the easiest way to win. So that's what Chelsea should be thinking about here. She's up 4 points. She doesn't need to win more pieces. All she needs to think about is what's the easiest way to simplify the position. Yeah, that's nice attacking the pin piece. Take that. Yeah, this is very well done. That check okay. That check okay. By the way, when Chelsea gave this check, the bishop could have taken the rook. So again, this is the second instance we've seen of retreating bishop moves, which, from what I understand and have read on the subject, retreating bishop moves are by far the most missed chess moves. So yeah, but great comeback from Chelsea. She was definitely totally lost. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing from Matthew lately. I feel like Matthew is getting a little bit ahead of himself as far as how good he is. I think Matt. First of all, the reason I'm saying all this is because I think Matthew is very good. If I didn't think he was showing potential, or I would be much kinder towards him. But I feel like he's sort of taking these positions for granted. And yeah, I mean you have to play your best against everybody. Like giving away all your pieces like this is not it's not very good chess. Yeah, and then like I don't think we want to trade the queens here as black because like our whole position is about attacking the king. We're down 2 points, so when you're up material, when you're down material, you don't want to simplify. So I think here a move like queen to h5 was probably the best move in the position. Yeah, I think this is a poor game for Matthew, to be honest. He should be, and we've seen him win the tournaments before. So I think we need a little bit higher quality from Matthew. Like in this position, if you play this move e4, you get this protected pass pawn. I think it's really hard for Chelsea to sort of untangle their pieces here. But I think f4, like the game's sort of just over immediately after this move. All right, anyway, let's move on. I would look at Aiden versus Josiah, but we looked at quite a few of Josiah's games already. So who's Aiden playing? Aiden just finished versus Vincent. All right, let's look at Vincent versus Aiden. I think this would be a good game. Oh, this one's. Oh, okay. We got a drawn rook and pawn end game. We got c4. A happy teacher. No, Aiden, I told you this is a mistake. And Vincent, I told you this is why it's a mistake. You're supposed to take e4. We talked about this position a few times. Okay, so e4. So e4 is a good move, but or is it a good move? But what I was going to say is Aiden found the refutation. So basically, it's a fork, right? And if we take the pawn, then the knight will take. But we have this nice intermezzo, and then I think this just wins a pawn for black now. I don't know about that trade. I would have kept the bishop pair. My first instinct was to play queen d5, and then if c4, then we can take here. That's a little bit much to ask from the kids to find these sort of in-between moves. But yeah, I think queen d5 might have been the more proper move or proper move. That just drops the b7 pawn. Stalemate, good. It's a nice result for Aiden. Vincent's a very strong chess player. That's a good result. I think Aiden, didn't he beat Alex Wilson last week, or last tournament, who was 1500? I think this move loses to rook take, bishop takes knight, and if the queen takes, then we take the rook. So after bishop takes, we have to take with the king, and then our king is really out in the open. So I think the best move here was just to castle, and then after bishop takes knight, queen takes, then this rook on f8 would defend the other rook. So I think castling is the move here. Yeah, so this is what happened. How did Aiden survive this position? Because this looks bleak. Oh, he's just going for the attack. This is interesting. Yeah, I really like the way that, and yeah, now the queens are off the board. I think this pawn on f4 is a bit of a weakness, but maybe it was not that easy to attack. Yeah, now we undouble the pawns, trading off some pawns, making more drawish. You got the more active rook here, Aiden. Trading off some more pawns. His king's gonna get more active. I wonder if rook a3. I think rook a3 is the winning move because now there's no way to defend the pawn here. And I mean, this is tough to calculate, but rook a3 here, take, here, take, and I think the black pawn is much faster there. So I think rook a3 was probably the winning move. And of course, after this move, take, you don't have to play rook takes, rook as white. So maybe like rook here to defend this pawn. But this looks mighty good for black here. I think just rook takes pawn here was a very good move for Aiden. Yeah, because with this passed pawn, if you can get this pawn, then even though both these are rook pawns, if you have two rook pawns and that's it, there's no way the white king can get both of these pawns. So one of them is just going to become a queen. This is a great chess game, though. This is like one of the. He hung his rook. Okay, right when I say that he hangs his rook, that was the only big mistake. And then he noticed his rook was under attack. Okay. Yeah, this honestly looks like a game between. I mean, not like I'm not saying specifically based on the quality of moves, but just like the position we're looking at. I mean, you could get this position from like a couple of masters playing, or a grandmaster game very easily. Yeah, this is. I don't know why Aiden is running away. No, this is not correct. You want to keep contact with this pawn as much as possible. You don't want to run your king away from the pawns. He blew this. This is a good puzzle battle. This I'll talk to Vincent about. This is just completely winning for white. You go here, here, and then if the king goes back to approach the pawn, it's never in time. Just one tempo too slow, and then like here, same thing. You just push your pawn. The king is always just a little too slow. Yeah, this is one that Vincent should have wrapped up, to be honest. But great defense from Aiden here. Perfect. Yeah, beautiful game. That was. I'm glad I looked at that one. That was a really nice high quality game. Let's go. What's going on with Leo and Yichen here? Yichen just ripped open Leo's king. Okay. Knight b5 I don't really get. If we're gonna jump our knight, why not go to the center? That drops the d3 pawn. That's easy to miss, but it does drop the pawn there. Then we get the pawn back on c5 though. He hung his queen. Both neither side saw it. Queen just falling. You got to take the queen. Yeah, I guess both players missed this. By the way, after g4, this is an interesting position. I don't think we want to necessarily open up the position, although we probably could get away with this. So one thing I've been trying to teach the kids, and it takes time for this to sink in also, is the way to keep the position closed is you just advance your pawn. So when you take the pawn, it opens up lines to your king. So if you're decide that your king's coming under attack, you want to keep the position closed. The more open your king is, the more likely your opponent's attack is going to succeed. So all you do here is you just play h4, and then probably you support that with g3. The thing about g3 is it does weaken the f3 square, but I don't think black can really get to this square. That's something you have to think about a little bit more, but I think we can go with the h4 g3 setup. And after h4, black might just sacrifice the pawn with g3 first, just to try to open up the position around your king, but I don't think this works. So if I was playing white here, I think I'd be very tempted to just go h4 and g3, and now my king should be very safe. Because even though I'm weakening the light squares after this h4 g3 maneuver, black doesn't have a light squared bishop. So that's what I'm sort of banking on to judge that my king would be safe enough. Okay, that was a reasonable game as well. A couple of mistakes, but very reasonable chess. So what's going on with the standings here? So how's Yichen doing? 1 out of 2. Okay. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not sure if everyone watched the whole video or not. But this video will probably be an hour because I have somewhere I have to be this afternoon. So I unfortunately cannot do the whole match like I would, whole tournament like I would prefer. We always gotta look at Matthew and Vincent's games. Whenever Matthew and Vincent play, we have to look. Yeah, c4 is wrong. Yeah, I think Matthew's misinterpreting some of our lessons in class. c4 is in queen's pawn openings. You don't really play c4 in king's pawn openings because the pawn on c4 just restricts your bishop from developing. This king's pawn and queen's pawn are totally different openings. So this pawn on c4 is really misplaced here. Knight f6. Yeah, and he's trying to get the knight behind the pawn because he wants additional attackers on the d5 square. Again, this only applies to queen's pawn openings. Okay. Yeah, I like Vincent's position already. All of his pieces are nice active squares. Yeah, Vincent's really close to really taking that next jump and playing straight. I think Vincent has a good chance to be one of the best Scholastic players we have in the state. I mean, a lot of kids I teach, they're all sort of up there already. I mean, Steven's taking the big jump. There's a few very good Scholastic players that I don't coach. Right, I don't coach everybody, but I like to coach as many students as I can, of course. But anyway, that's sort of getting off point a little bit. But yeah, I think Vincent, he's getting very close to being one of the best young chess players we have in the state. Draw by agreement. How do you lose his? Yeah, I give Vincent some praise, and then he loses his queen. Dude, you kidding me, Vincent? And Matthew I think the thing with Matthew is he's such a nice person. I think he doesn't really, if he wins by a blunder, he doesn't seem like that happy about it. He just wants to win like a fair game. But yeah, this move g4 is not correct, I don't think. You're just weakening and he just drops the c4 pawn. So he's not even spotting his opponent's threats. That's a big problem. He's sort of taking a step back, in my opinion, Matthew. I think I said enough. My job is to be encouraging, not discouraging. So I think I also want to be honest with the kids because if you want to improve, I think honesty is really crucial. But I think I've said enough. I said enough negative things. I think we'll get. Matthew's going to take a big improvement as well. Just recently, it hasn't been as high as quality is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so take. Yeah, that's good alertness by Vincent. So basically, this rook move cut off communication between the bishop and knight. Yeah, simplify when you're up material. Knight b5. No, that cannot be. I guess he's trying to open up his attack on f2. This is in chess what we call it cheapo. So basically, you're just playing a move and you hope your opponent doesn't see the threat, but. No, this knight on d4 is too good to play knight b5. So that means I should suggest an alternative, which isn't coming to me so quickly, which is a bit strange because, yeah, I mean, we do have a very good position as black here. The goal is obviously we want to try to improve these rooks, but I don't see how immediately. Um, for some reason, e4 keeps jumping out at me, even though it just loses a pawn. But I guess, yeah, e4, maybe get the knight to e5. I think that might be the right plan here. And then if we can hop a pony into f3 at some point, that might work out very, very well for us. But okay, so here, yeah, then he just went right back. So he kind of admitted to cheapo. I don't know. Magnus Carlsen says he's a big fan of cheapos though. No, here we just have f5, right? F5 forking the queen and the bishop here. Why not? Why not win more material? Okay. Okay. I like that h6 move. That's a nice inclusion from Matthew. Ah, that's nice. He's been going for that bishop takes f2 move for a while, so he finally got it in. I think queen f4 was a bit more precise. And he just hung his queen. Can't have that. I think, yeah, queen f4 once again, I think is the best move for black here. Even knight to g4, I'm sure, is fine. Yeah, that was really nice of Matthew to accept the draw there. So what's the standings at? So we got Chelsea tied for first. Awesome. It'd be great if Chelsea wins first. I'm not choosing favorites. If Josiah finished in the first two, I'll be really happy. But Chelsea's worked so hard. If she could get a first place finish, I think it would mean more for her confidence than for Josiah. I get the impression Josiah is always pretty confident. Again, he really reminds me of me when I was younger. As far as like we have the same sort of chess personality. All right, let's go on here. We got Vincent and Crystal. So this knight c6 move, right? I'm not gonna like harp on it, but it is a bit of an inaccuracy because we can't move the c pawn anymore. Okay, so queen c2. So we just give away our queen. Who's gonna be the first to notice? Is Vincent gonna notice he can win the bishop? Oh, come on. That's dirty. That's not. Oh, Crystal's gonna be thinking, why did I take the queen? I can't look at this game anymore. It's too sad. No, I can't look at that anymore. All right, let's go on. Aiden Naiden. Nah. Let's look at. Let's look at Leo versus Matthew. This is like a Stafford game with the bishop on c5 versus the knight on f6. So how do we judge the differences? Because it's not so clear. What? Cannot just. Oh, he can just do that. Oh, take that back. This is an excellent move. Ah, brilliant. Right when I was so critical of Matthew, he pulls out a genius move. Yes, this will get, the kids sometimes ask me, mostly Vincent, he asked me, how do I get an exclam or a double exclam? He got 2 double exclams now, by the way, Vincent. He's super happy about that. So I don't think this would be a double exclam move, but definitely 1 exclam. It has to be like a move that's sort of out of the ordinary and has some like good tactical vision ahead of time. So yeah, this move, bishop takes f2, brilliant move from Matthew. That's some good stuff there. That's super nice. D3, why not D3 here by Leo? Right, when your king's in check, you don't. Excuse me. When your king's in check, you don't have to automatically move your king. I kind of want to play a game. Anyone want to? Who would I be playing if I start a game here? Because I don't want to. If I influence the top of the standings, the kids will not be happy. What's going on with Vincent and Chelsea? So they're just starting their game. All right. So I think if I start, it'll probably be Josiah. I think Josiah. That wouldn't be fair if I played Josiah 2 games either. I kind of want to play Ichan, but I can't guarantee that that would happen. Yeah, if I play Josiah again, I really would feel not good about that. Okay, so what game are we looking at? Sorry, I think I got a little distracted. Leo and Matthew. Okay, so King E1, Black won by resignation. Okay, that's a good game. How many points does Leo have? I know last tournament Leo did very well. This tournament is at 2 out of 5, very respectable. I want to see Jonathan get a win because he's playing really well. It's just all the other kids are playing really well too. Like, to be honest, it used to be in the previous tournaments there were some easy wins somewhere, but now like honestly, there's no easy wins anymore. Like this student Peter that I used to teach a while back from New York, um, like I haven't taught him in a long time. I feel like he hasn't been practicing that much. Like I'm not surprised him as he can't get any victories. Um, yeah, I guess I'm pretty I'm unsurprised when I see the results. I feel like this is a pretty good representation of the kid's strength. Um, yeah, I'm not super surprised at any of the results we're seeing. I want to play, but yeah, I won't do that to Josiah. So Josiah's playing Matthew. Is there anyone that needs an opponent? They really only on the third move. They're really taking their time here. This is funny. I actually saw Nakamura play this in the tournament in Victoria that I competed in. This was 7 years ago. I want to say 7 8 years ago. Probably one of my favorite chess experiences. Not like that I had the best tournament of my life, although I did play some good players and I thought I played pretty reasonable chess. But like getting to like leave the country for a chess tournament, I thought that was just like such a cool experience. It was like sort of just like a dream come true to go to Victoria and yeah, Victoria is like one of my favorite places in the world. By the way, it's such a beautiful place, like very peaceful. Um, it's like a harbor city. It's like right on the ocean. Like a lot of cruises, I think, travel through there. So it's a good port city, and they have some really nice gardens as well. So if anyone is interested in vacation ideas, I recommend going to Victoria. So anyway, so after this take, I think the main move is I think you just go e6 here, and on like b4, like basically this is a reversed Queen's Gambit accepted. So basically it's like the white is playing the Queen's Gambit accepted. So I think you just go e6 here, and again if b4 you play this move a5, and it just all transposes back to stuff that we've sort of learned before. So I think that's the way you're supposed to play this. I don't think like d4 doesn't make any sense. You're moving the pawn again. There's two attackers, one defender. That is a pretty that's not a very good move. I don't know why Vincent played queen d2. I feel like he's just messing around now. I mean, maybe he misclicked. He wanted to go queen to d4 and he just mouse slipped. But yeah, I don't really get this move. And then why are they taking so much time? Um, so like, why is Vincent's clock still running? Even though it's okay now, Chelsea's turn clock is running. It's weird. Man, Aiden's been doing really well against Aiden lately. For a while, it was, and I was telling I was telling their mom just like that's how it goes in chess. Like, it's never like everyone improves at the exact same. Like this is like they're twin brothers, so I think this is like very interesting as just like knowledge. Queen f4 is a checkmate here, by the way. But even though like they're twin brothers, like the same exact chess class, I teach them the same exact stuff. They pretty much play chess about the same amount. What I can see, my prediction is that they won't like one will improve at one point, then they'll get stuck for a bit. Then the other player will improve at some point, and then they're gonna hit a plateau, and that's how it goes in chess. Like that's one thing I'm like always a bit worried about with my chess lessons is that maybe there's some expectation that kids are just gonna like go straight up. That's not how it works. Like they get stuck at a level for a bit, they go up, and you want the incline to be good. You want to like improve like 100, 150 points when you do improve, but then you're gonna get stuck at that level for let's say a few months. Then you're gonna jump another 150 points. Then you're gonna get stuck, and then it sort of becomes a question of like how much effort do you want to put into chess? How much do you enjoy it? Like what is your like natural talent level? Because I think, in my opinion, and many people think I'm maybe wrong about this. In my opinion, though, there is like a ceiling for everybody. Like if you're Magnus Carlsen, maybe that ceiling is like 2,900. Maybe it's not. But I think everybody has like some ceiling, and it just becomes a matter of like how much you enjoy playing chess. And how curious you are to reach your full potential. Um, and there's things along the way, to be honest, in life that I think sort of do preclude you from always reaching your max potential. Maybe you have like some bad luck somewhere along the way. So I don't think anyone in life actually reaches their full potential, but I think a lot of people can get pretty close to their absolute max potential. Hopefully that made sense. I don't know if that made sense to anybody. Let's play Aiden or Aiden. They always seem to enjoy playing against me, so I wouldn't feel bad. I won't feel bad getting paired against them. Oh, I didn't. They already got paired though. I really want to play Ichen. If Josiah gets paired against somebody else, I think I would be likely to play against Ichen. I won again. Who did he beat Ichen? 2 out of 3. He beat Leo in 16 moves. Wow. So he beat Leo 2 times. All right. So I think that's a competitive. Yeah, they're about same rating. I think they're similar ages, I want to guess. So I think that's a pretty interesting opponent. Where's any new games starting up? What's going on between Leo and Aiden here? Man, Aiden and Aiden are just beasts. Unbelievable. 13 points is up. But he just hung his he just hung his queen. I had a feeling he just hung his queen Leo. These are important learning moments, though. Yeah, Leo will learn from this and improve. So tomorrow's an exciting day for soccer or football fans. Maybe I should say we have the World Cup finale, and then what I'm most looking forward to tomorrow is the Nakamura Carlsen Speed Chess Championship final, which will be at 11 a.m. I think that's gonna be a good competitive final. Probably some people are thinking like Carlsen has had Nakamura's number throughout his career, which is true. But I feel like Nakamura's been more comfortable against Carlsen lately, and I think he will. I think the match will be very competitive. I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other, but we'll see. If there is a blowout, it'll likely be Carlsen with the dominating win. But I think it's going to be a good competitive match. Let's start a game. I think this is like a perfect time. Is Ichen available for a game? Matthew, perfect. Okay, I'm happy with this. Okay, let's get a game. Seeing if Matthew sent any good luck message. So there's no good luck message. So let's just play. I normally play Ponziani, but if he plays knight c6, I'm going to go for the Scotch Gambit here. So we'll see how well Matthew can play against my Scotch Gambit. That move's not correct. So take, knight c3, bishop b4. What do I do next? I think I'm supposed to go. Okay, let's go bishop to b5. I hate this auto resign. I know we talked about this in previous videos, but it's like so annoying because it's not actually correct. Like it doesn't actually auto resign you if you don't move. So it's really like Vincent told me like he made a blunder one day because of that, and I sort of felt for him. Huh? What in the world is this? This is so confusing. It doesn't feel like Matthew should be able to get away with attacking me so early in the game. Okay, so let's go h3. This feels quite peculiar the way Matthew's playing this, but for all I know, it could be right. I think if he goes bishop h5, I do go with g4 here because now I have knight takes e5. And if bishop takes, I think f3 is the move. And I'm hoping that this is good for me. My guess is that this should be good for me. It's a weird opening though. I've never seen anything even like close to this before. Yeah, he's gonna take, and then I have f3, and then I think. Well, I don't know if he's gonna play this move. I don't think he should play this move because yeah, but f3 I think is just very strong. Yeah, I think this is close to game over. Although I did just allow queen h4 for some strange reason. Yeah, queen h4. Queen h4, king f1, I think I'm fine there, but geez, I did miss that move to be honest. So yeah, here I'm just going to take, and then I'm going to take. Yeah, I don't think queen 2. Yeah, queen h4 is not that big of a deal because I have king f1. Okay, there. All right, just let's make sure we don't do anything dumb here. Yeah, why does he keep giving me that resign? It's so annoying. Okay, here. I don't think this move is. No, this move is terrible. It's a really bad move. Yeah, I really don't like. Yeah, I really don't like the way I'm playing. This is terrible. Okay, here. So I have to go queen f2 now. Yeah, he shouldn't be simplifying Matthew when he's down material. This is totally illogical. Totally illogical chess. You don't simplify when you're down material. You do the opposite. When you're down material, you complicate. You don't simplify. What? Okay, he wants to go f6 is his idea, but the problem is I could just take with the knight here and then f6 does nothing. The reason why I'm hesitating on bishop e3, although I'm sure it's fine, is that after h4, like now I have to drop my knight back to h2, and I'm not sure if I want to do that. So yeah, that's why. If you're wondering why I'm hesitating here, I think also just bishop. No, bishop takes pawn would be very foolish. I think. Let's go bishop to d2, so I can put my knight onto e3 in case of h5. I think that's maybe the right way to approach this position. Okay, here. Where is my king going to be safest? Let's go over. I'm going to run my king over this way, so let's go here. Yeah, I don't really care about this pawn. I think Matthew might win this pawn, but it should be pretty irrelevant. Okay, so he's trying to go there, but that's nothing. Okay, here. Yeah, I'm just ultra conservative with my king here. I'm just going to get my king to, like, let's say c1 or something. And yeah, I had a feeling he was going to go h5 at some point, so that's, again, why I didn't put my bishop on e3 because I wanted to go here. Okay, we got this move. And I think I should be perfectly fine here. This is a nice active square for my knight. And I think I'm going to go h4, even though that gives black a pass pawn. If I can go... Okay, so we stopped that idea, sort of. Yeah, I think I want to go h4. Oh, he just hung his bishop. What the heck am I doing? Yeah, he just gave me his bishop for free. That's one thing, to be honest, is like there's an expression in chess, always look through the chessboard with the eyes of a beginner. And that's a really good expression I'm learning because, to be honest, when you play like pretty high rated players, like they don't drop their pieces like this very often. So you almost like forget to look for it. So it's a good reminder, like, you're only like if you can't spot your opponent's bad moves, then you're not really playing chess very well. So it's a really good reminder that you have to pay attention. Maybe your opponent just blundered a piece. It's, and anyone's capable of just blundering in chess. Oh, I have this. I should have played d5 earlier. Um, the reason I have this nice tactic with knight e7 at the end. But okay, let's prepare it first. So let's go d5. All right, let's go. I'm sorry, let's go rook d1 and then go d5. And then the idea is if the rook ever ends up on d5 with the king here, I'm going to go knight e7. And I think Matthew probably missed this. So even though there's more attackers than defenders, right? He can't. He's going to lose material here. I think he doesn't realize that he's going to lose material after knight e7 yet. And that's all that. That's the way the cookie crumbles. He's gonna go king f5. I'm gonna take all his pawns. La, 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 and I'm gonna push his king back. I'm gonna win the e4 pawn, and then this h pawn should start running here. I missed that move, but it doesn't. Okay, play c3. Nice deflection. Then I'm gonna take the pawn, and then this pawn's gonna roll. Keep rolling. He's gonna try to get a stalemate here, Matthew, but I'm not gonna let him. Excuse me. What's the easiest way to convert this? If I take here, then it's a stalemate. Tricky. But the good news is I have queen b8 here, and then I can go queen b5, and that wins the game. That's pretty sneaky. Oh no, hold on a second. He could take, if he takes there, then I go queen b3. Okay, so queen b8's the finishing touch here. Oh, Benjamin's in. Perfect. Yeah, I think this might be a good time for me to end the video. I am happy that Benjamin was able to show up and play, though. It's been a long time since he played in the tournament. I thought Benjamin was trending in the right direction. There was a scheduling conflict I had with one of the schools that I teach, and I kind of feel bad. I was teaching Benjamin this kid named David, or like David told me he's playing chess 45 hours a week. I'm not joking. And like his rating has like improved tremendously. So I don't know if he's playing 45 hours a week, but he's playing a lot of chess. And I was teaching them. They're like classmates and good friends. They're friends at one of the school's chess club. And I was just beginning to teach them for like I taught Benjamin for a long time, but we were sort of doing this new class. And then I just had this really bad scheduling conflict immediately. Like 2 weeks into teaching them, we tried to reschedule for a different date, but we couldn't find a time that worked for everybody. Which, to be honest, I am getting a bit busy here and there. Like chess classes have been doing well, which I'm pretty fortunate and blessed about. So yeah, I wasn't able to keep teaching them, which I'm really disappointed because I know Benjamin and David are like also really talented Scholastic players. Like I definitely put them up there with Vincent. To be honest, like if we're just going by rating, I think Vincent has a lot of work to catch up to those guys, but I think Vincent will catch up eventually. But yeah, Benjamin and David are good kids. I really wish I could have taught them a little bit more. But you never know. Hopefully in the future, maybe we can create some arrangement and can continue the classes. But my schedule is even busier now, to be honest, than it was back then. So we'll see. Hopefully, we can find a time someday. But it's looking not so easy for me or for them because I know they're both busy kids. Anyway, I'm curious to see how the tournament finishes. Chelsea's gonna have a tough time, is my prediction, because Vincent's he's just sort of right, like getting close to catching up. But I'm not saying that to count out Chelsea. I think she can finish in the top three. But what I'm saying is it's gonna be tough. And maybe she can surpass Aiden, of course, and maybe she can even finish in first. Which I think for Chelsea's confidence, a first place result would be huge. So yeah, let's see what happens. Anybody can win. I think from here we have a pretty close race at the top of the standings. How's her rating doing today, by the way? So she played. Okay, so she started. She was rated 751, and now she's 772. So she gained 21 points. Chelsea, that's pretty fantastic. Well, I haven't seen that 9-move loss. Oh, she got scholars mated. No, that let's talk about. Chelsea should not be getting scholars mated. She's too good for that. The game against Vincent. Okay, that one. That one looks like at least it was like a pretty competitive game. She beat Aiden. That's really impressive. Aiden's playing well. She beat Leo. Leo's playing well. She has 2 wins against Aiden today. Okay, so she has Aiden's number. And then what else is going on here? What's going on with Josiah? So Josiah's at 5.5 out of 8. So he lost the first game to me. He drew Vincent. Him and Vincent have some good battles. He lost to Aiden. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Aiden's really playing extremely well today. And then he lost to yours truly and this game here. I wonder how like I don't think the review score will be that great because I did sacrifice my bishop. So yeah, I guess I'm curious how they measure like these type of ideas when you just simplify. Like I know that the engine's gonna say that. So they actually they say this is excellent, curious move. Maybe not exactly what the position demands, but an interesting idea. So they do recognize the simplification move, and they gave me like a thumbs up, which I don't know if that means like 100% accuracy. Like I don't know how that impacts the computer, but this is just such like a nice human move to just end the game instantly. So yeah, I mean I would play that move basically every time. That's not like a move that I'm ever having any real doubt about. Okay, and then from here, pawn goes marching in. Cool. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'm really apologetic that I can't cover the last 30 minutes of the tournament. I am really curious how the tournament will finish. Excited for classes this week. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone for showing up. I know there's a lot of things you could be doing on holiday break, so the fact that you're here playing chess means a ton. That's why we're improving so much. I'll see everyone in class this week. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.